Is there any like tips? Because I was sort of thinking about this earlier. Is there any tips to is there a way you could test the person that you're with to find out if they are the key decision maker? And is there a way it can almost be influenced and push
Easy.
up the chain?
Yeah, it's really easy. Gareth, do you know why? How?
Gareth, do you know how?
Do I know how to test if the person's the key decision maker?
Yeah.
Why is it you want to find that out, Adrian?
I love it. You've learned.
I have got a response. I think
high five you. Yeah.
Just to give you my gut response, it is you can ask some leading questions which kind of make you aware if that's the right person.
Yep.
Like,
I think asking is the right thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you can ask them directly, but you wouldn't like say, "Oh, are you the person who's going to make the decision?" Like in the first 5 minutes of a conversation. So you kind of the way I often do it is put that throughout the conversation in a few different ways.
That's a good way to do it. Also, think of the question fundamentally you just said, which is, are you the decision maker? Think about how you could ask that in a different way that has empathy and is completely acceptable, but also positive for them. So you could say, knowing that you have to go through a process to get the approval on this, which we'd both love to happen, what do you need to do and what can I do to help you prepare for that? And who else needs to see this? Because it's not uncommon that I need to present this to a bigger team, but they quite often need it in a slightly different way. And who would that be and how's that best prepared? And it's, I'd say half the time, my team and I ask that question, the answer is, oh, I'm really glad you asked that because I didn't think you'd be up for coming and presenting to my C-suite. And actually now you've asked, I haven't really thought about all of that. Let's talk about it. And then you can huddle with them as a team on their side and come up with the best way to help sell it in for them. Because that becomes a win-win, doesn't it? Because they want to sell it in. If you've got to the point where you've agreed, you've found what they need and you've matched that, and they've got to jump through some of their own internal flaming hoops to get that, then why would you want to check out at that point? Like we should be there all the way through. That's what being a partner is, and a partnership is. Like, let's find that out. And then by finding that out, then you answer the question we just asked. How do I best prepare to sell to a C-suite audience? By doing all of that, like by literally asking, what is it? Can I do that with you? Can I help you do that? What is it that will help get that? What are they like as a person? How long would we be able to get with them? What do they think of the brief? Have they even seen this yet? Did they write the brief? Did they just give you the budget? All these things, the more you understand of that, the easier it gets to go and present to them because you're not guessing.
It's like back to what I was saying earlier on around these puzzle pieces. Every question you get, there's a puzzle piece. Do you know what I mean? And then you've got this big picture of then going, that's exactly what we need to do, rather than going, I think it's this. It's like a full big picture.
I think a good tip as well that I got told a while back, a lot of this is bedded in psychology as well. Like the vast majority of sales and marketing, marketing more so I've looked at. But if you can learn enough just to be dangerous, like that's probably like the right level you need to be at with psychology to be really good at this stuff. I think you don't need a doctorate, but you need to know your fundamentals, and it does really serve well. Like I'm no psychology buff, but I have read a little bit. And I think most good sales or marketing fundamentals are based in a lot of that, reading people, understanding not only what mental state they're in, but also what drives them and their ambitions and all that stuff. It really comes into a lot of psychology basics, really, and fundamentals. So that's something that I thought I'd add into.
It's a really good point, Gareth. Yeah, and you're definitely dangerous. You do know enough to be dangerous, that's for sure.
Don't know about that.
Yeah, here you are. But actually, I think people also overthink. Thanks, Gareth. I do think people overthink all of that. Like, you're right. You don't need to be a psychologist. You don't. All you need to do is ask the questions. to understand. Like, you don't have to be able to second guess by some hidden means what somebody's after. You can actually just say, what are you after? Because
a good
ultimately,
therapy session's all about, isn't it? You know,
it is.
just asking a few questions, being nosy,
that's all they do,
probing.
isn't it? Yeah. And then the hour's up, and then the big bill comes. Yep.
Speaking from experience, are we, Gaz?
Well, you know, it's been a while since I've been on the couch. I've got one in the studio just in case. I think I'll need to sit down after Fresh Friday, actually.
Take a seat, Gaz.